necessarily awarded every year, and it is only awarded to recognize our most exceptional graduate when it is awarded. This year's recipient will be introduced by Mr. Dave Sisler, and to assist with the presentation of this award, we will invite Caroline McCormick, representing the Friends of Laura Secord, a nonprofit community group established to preserve, strengthen, and perpetuate the legacy of this Canadian heroine and our school's namesake. By the way, Mrs. McCormick is a direct descendant of Ms. Secord. We'd like to, at this time, ask Mr. Sisler to come to the podium, and also Ms. McCormick to make her way to the side of the stage for the presentation, and I'll turn things over to Mr. Sisler.
Thanks very much. Welcome, everyone. It's a real pleasure for me to address you tonight. First of all, please join me in one more round of applause for this year's outstanding graduating class. The past 4 years has just flown by. It was really, the last couple of weeks, it's hard to believe that these guys are graduating already. Now let's get down to business here. I'm here tonight to present the Laura Secord Medal to a deserving student. The Laura Secord Medal is Laura Secord's highest honor. It was introduced many years ago to not only recognize an extraordinary student, but also to underline the values for which Laura Secord Secondary School stands. Right from the very first day the school opened its doors, Laura Secord's goal was to develop well-rounded, caring students. High school is so much more than classes and exams, and Laura Secord has always strived to encourage students to get involved in as many activities outside the classroom as they could possibly fit in. This year's recipient is a great example. The criteria for the medal is as follows. The student must have good academic achievement, pleasant rapport with staff and students. They have demonstrated exceptional leadership and also demonstrated a significant involvement in a wide range of school activities. Let's see if we can find our recipient. Good academic achievement means, in this situation, above 80% average in all subjects throughout high school. Now, everyone here tonight in the audience, think back to your high school days. Way back. Now, average your marks for your entire high school career, every class, even the ones you didn't like. Well, what did you get? If you are still thinking about it, then ignore your math classes in your calculations. Okay, how about this one? 48.9%. Oh wait, I think I might have that in the wrong order. I believe it was 94.8. You heard that earlier. That's pretty good. Pleasant rapport. This one is very important and not always easy to achieve. This year's recipient is a compassionate, caring, and very helpful student. She or he has been a prefect, a jump mentor, and a community volunteer, and has won community leadership service and peer support awards. They are always offering to help others and always pleasant and easy to approach. Demonstrated exceptional leadership. This student has been a go-to person with our music department, but also with peer tutoring, school reach, classroom, and community groups. He or she is always demonstrating great, quiet leadership skills when needed, not to be in the spotlight, but because they truly care to help out others. Significant involvement. Significant, that's a given for a typical Laura Secord student. Well, this student has been a major player in many music groups over the past 4 years. Concert choir, jazz choir, gig choir, concert band, jazz band, musical orchestras, 2 of those. Orchestra, drumline, also a prefect, school reach, and tennis team. Who could it be? But wait, there's more. The recipient has also been a major player in the community, playing with the Brock University Wind Ensemble, the Niagara Youth Orchestra, coaching for the Niagara Youth Orchestra Summer Camp, and volunteering within the church community. We all know this person by their first name, Todd. Todd has been very true to himself. He has a unique personality and is very comfortable with that fact. He's not trying to be like anyone else because he is who he is, and we all really appreciate that. An excellent selection for this award. Congratulations to the 2016 Laura Secord Medal recipient, Mr. Todd Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Sisler, and congratulations, Todd. And in case you were wondering, no, that was not Ms. Caroline McCormick. That was Mr. Taylor. I'd like to now call upon Cindy Crosby to introduce this year's valedictorian for the class of 2016.
Notice glasses, big print. I don't know how Sisler read that. Good evening, graduates, family members, special guests, and Secord staff members. Let me first extend my congratulations to our graduating class of 2016. I will be sad to see some of you go. Just kidding, always. When I heard that Sumitra was chosen as the 2016 valedictorian, I was so happy, and my first thought was, that's awesome because everyone loves Sumitra. He is one of the kindest and most sincere students I have ever met over my many years of education, but not nearly as many as DeLuca and Yap. When Mr. DeLuca said that Sumitra wanted me to introduce him this evening, I was both honored and emotional, thinking, how will I ever be able to do him justice? What is it about Sumitra that makes him so special? Well, it's things such as his work ethic, his attention to detail, and his ability to strive for excellence while consistently extending a helping hand to those around him. Sumitra has had perfect attendance in grades 9, 10, 11, and has earned his place on the honor roll every year of his high school career. Sumitra was quite involved with school community during his 4 years with us. He was a jump mentor, a member of the basketball team, a scorekeeper, and helped us out with grade 8 badminton day. Sumitra was also a member of Crew, which is a large group of students who do various jobs around the school that really no one else wants to do. You know, the jobs that make the staff look good, like setting up for tonight. And they had to be under the watchful eye of our very own Mrs. Wilson. And we know how hard that was, right, Sumitra? He could always be found in the gym at lunch playing intramural basketball or ball hockey, or just maybe taking the time to hang out with peers or talking to new students. This year, he decided to take on the very important role of the assistant stage manager with our musical Anything Goes. Mrs. Thorpe told me that she approached Sumitra and asked him if he would consider taking this role on, and immediately said sure. After saying yes, he then went to Mrs. Thorpe a bit later and said that he didn't really know what the job was, but offered that if she needed him, he would be glad to do it. He coordinated the backstage crew and all the set changes, and they only had one small incident, when Kyle hit Mears in the head. I guess he should have ducked. Sumitra was a super hard worker, and he even ran his own practices just to get them perfect. It is his humble disposition and his smile that become infectious. Have you seen his smile? It lights up the room and instantly makes people feel comfortable. This student body chose the best person to represent them over these last 4 years. Sumitra does not judge others, but treats everyone the same, no matter what circle they run in. He was always willing to help, even when it was not convenient or he was already doing something else. But for Sumitra, these were experiences he enjoyed day after day. Experiences he did not do for the accolades, but for the simple fact that it meant something to him to be kind and to help those that needed the most. I would like to congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Biswaff for raising such a wonderful son, and to thank you for allowing us to be a small part of his youth. What some of you may not know is that Sumitra's older brother, Shamik, was also voted valedictorian for his graduating class in 2011. Are there any other family members coming to Secord? I want to leave you with a quote by the French novelist Georges Sand that best describes Sumitra. Guard well within yourself that treasure of kindness. Know how to give without hesitation, how to lose without regret, and how to acquire without meanness. At this time, I would now like to invite the class of 2016 valedictorian, Sumitra Biswaff, to come and give his address.
My speech. All right, fellow parents, guardians, siblings, and peers of the 2016 graduates. It is my privilege to welcome you to this graduation. First of all, I want to thank every single one of these graduates for selecting me as a valedictorian. I am absolutely honored to represent the graduate class of 2016. Let me tell you a fact about these graduates. They're one of the most loving, accepting, and hardest working students that Secord has ever experienced. Lower Secord is known as AAA's school because of these graduates who have shown excellence in their arts, academics, and athletics. In the past 4 years, we have accomplished so many achievements that put Lower Secord to the top. For instance, we won the provincial drum line for 2 years straight, 2 best musicals, several dance titles such as hip hop, jazz, acrobats, and contemporary. We've had several offset participants from track, wrestling, and various other sports. And we've accomplished many more. Behind these accomplishments, there were lots of hard work and dedication that was put into this achievement by these graduates, along with maintaining their academics. First of all, I'd like to talk about the music students. This school has one of the best music programs because of the students who are involved in it. The amount of hours and commitment they put into music outside of school is truly commendable. Every day, being able to wake up early morning for choir practices, and then going to band practice after school, along with maintaining their education, is a strong commitment to follow. And these graduates have done it successfully for all 4 years. I remember the one time I joined choir, I left after the first 3 days because I really needed the extra hour of sleep in the morning. So hats off to all the music students. My utmost respect goes to all of them. The athletics. The athletes of Lower Secord are also one of the hardest working group I've ever encountered. I'm usually in the gym after school working out, as you can see. But when I step into the gym, I see the athletes practicing and training endlessly, sweat dripping down the forest continuously, and I can see them giving it their 100% when it comes to training and improvement. In addition, these athletes are also special because I always notice them encouraging one another to work harder and harder. They continuously strive to reach their maximum potential and always looking to improve, which is what true athletes do. I commend all the athletes who dedicated their time outside of Secord to work fitness and healthy active lifestyle for all 4 years to represent Secord athletics. The arts. Wow, let me tell you something about these talented art students that we have. After observing the art displays in the art show, it really made me reconsider my art skills. I truly thought my 2D cartoons were good, but after seeing the 3D drawings, portraits, sculptures, and the other forms of art design that they created, it really made me realize how talented the Secord art students were by representing their passion and creativity through their artworks. In these 4 years, every single one of these graduates put in so much time, effort, and dedication in order to make Lower Secord the greatest. I'm so blessed to be part of this journey along with them by being able to observe the hard work they put into their academics along with their extracurricular activities. They truly motivated and inspired me to work harder and harder to be the best version of myself. More importantly, the other qualities I noticed about these graduates is that they accept you for who you are, and they do not exclude anyone. When I walk down the hall, I don't see anyone single out. There's always someone part of the group. You cannot differentiate who the juniors are and who the seniors are. They all seem as one. This is the beauty of learning Secord, and therefore I salute all graduates for successfully representing Secord as a AAA school, and more importantly, spreading the continuous love and positivity amongst everyone by making them feel at home. It is safe to say we're not just friends, but family. Now I'd like to talk about the teachers. Honestly, I don't have enough words to express how much they've done for every single one of us. Through all 4 years, every single teacher in Secord continues to support us through our academics and encourage us to strive for better. More importantly, their determination and commitment to help us succeed and prepare us for the days ahead of us. They've given their 100% by providing us the learnings and values to the path of success. As most of the graduates know, a few special members of the school are being leading, such as Mr. Yap and Mr. DeLuca. Mr. Yap, I'm sure I told you this already, but you're an inspiration to me, to the school, and this community. He always preaches to the people around him that in order to succeed, that you must fall several times. Otherwise, you won't learn from your mistakes. There's a quote by Michael Jordan that Mr. Yap really believes in and spreads it amongst his students. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Mr. Yap ensures that his students work harder than ever by pushing them continuously so they can be the best versions of themselves. This also makes sense why some people have a problem with him. Thank you for everything, Mr. Yap. Mr. DeLuca. Mr. DeLuca is our school guidance staff for over 20 years now. He's continuously chasing students to collect us to get the community hours in, to get timetable changes, and whatnot. I'm not going to lie, I was sort of afraid of Mr. DeLuca at first. However, I started to realize he was actually a real nice guy to talk to, and I went out to Rory lunch with him. I also found out that he pretends to act fearless when people try to scare him. For example, he told me the one time Miss Cross was hiding under the table, and when he walked in, Miss Cross popped out and scared him. However, that time he didn't get scared, but he actually did. Thank you for everything, Mr. DeLuca. On behalf of all the graduates tonight, we thank all the teachers in Secord who made our experience the best and unforgettable. Also, I'd like to thank all the custodians who have worked endlessly by cleaning up after our mess and dealing with us for the past 4 years. Lastly, on behalf of all the graduates tonight, we would like to thank all our parents and peers who have supported us continuously to reach up to this significant moment in our lives where new capital will begin happening today. Thank you for supporting our dreams and goals continuously. We will always be grateful to God for everything you guys have done for us. Thank you. Before I finish, I want to leave something with the graduates that will motivate them for the future, or at least will motivate me. This is a quote by John Maxwell. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it is an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it is there. Impossible is a potential, impossible is temporary, impossible is nothing. Therefore, graduate 2016, follow your dreams and work hard for it, because anything is possible to achieve if you put your mind to it. Thank you very much.
We need to note that in accordance with Florida Secord Secondary School tradition, it's a tradition that was begun by our founding principal and namesake of this theater, the late Mr. James H. Smith. A portrait of the valedictorian was drawn by one of our current art students, a graduate, Chardon Trimble Kirk. It's currently on display in the front foyer. It will eventually be mounted on the wall leading from the main office to the rear of the school, along with portraits of all of our previous valedictorians. And I must say that earlier this year, when we had our 50th anniversary, those valedictorian portraits, that hallway was a very popular place as people reminisce. This year's valedictorian, Sumitra Biswas, will receive a framed reproduction of this portrait. We'd like to present that to him now. Would Mrs. Ruth Hernder and Charlotte Trimble Kirk please come forward to make the presentation. an end, we have some final remarks that need to be made. Many staff and students have contributed to the organization and success of this graduation ceremony, our 50th graduation ceremony. While there are very many to thank, I'd like to recognize a few individuals by name. The graduation committee chairs, my co-MC Jay Davies and also Linda Barrett. Also Vince DeLuca, Leslie Wilson, and Sharon Viega from our guidance office, and Jean Rosner, Kelly Lavelle, Janice Johnson, and Tracy Newman for their countless hours spent preparing diploma certificates and programs, amongst other things. Thanks to Dave Sisler and the music students for the music tonight, and a big thank you to the many staff members who helped prepare the stage and the reception and organize the gowns and the tickets and marshal our graduates. And big thanks also to our the parents on our school council for their generous donation toward the caps. We'd like to extend a very special thank you to you, our honored guests, who took the time away from your busy schedules to be here this evening to celebrate with the class of 2016. And finally, thank you to our 150 graduates for your contributions, your involvement, your energy, and your spirit, and your care for the school have helped to make Laura Secord a fantastic place to be for everyone. On behalf of Mrs. Hernder, Mr. Taylor, and all of the Laura Secord staff, we congratulate all of the graduates and we wish you well. Immediately following the recessional, everyone is invited to a reception on the front lawn. I'd like to thank you for coming. Please stand. And grads, at this time, stand and you can move those tassels. You can throw the caps up, whatever you want to do.
Alright, good job, Grant. Alright, good work, team. Alright. Good job, Lauren. Good work, Dale. Alex, alright, good work, man. Congrats. Gentlemen, hey, alright, good job.